In my last video, I made a couple of statements about 8.1 navigation that need to be clarified because what I said was a bug. It's sort of a bug, but it's sort of a conflicting settings that do different things. And so I want to explain how it works so you can make an intelligent decision on how you want your system configured and how you want it to operate. So with that, let's take a look at how to configure it correctly. Now, Windows 8.1 update comes with this option here checked. It says boot to desktop and when you close an app, Windows 8 app, go ahead to the desktop. I don't like that. I now run a lot of Windows 8 applications. I have a few of course, the older applications, but I don't want to go there. I want to go back to my start screen because that's where I do most of my work from. So I'm going to uncheck that. So I uncheck that and I say apply, and we're going to go ahead and launch a program and say, oh, look, it's supposed to go back to the start screen when I close it. So let's run Flickster here. And we can close Flickster the old way, quote unquote old way, by dragging from the top and going to the bottom like that. Okay, or the new way, which is using the close button over here. So if I click on that close, and it should go back to the start screen, but instead, even though that's unchecked, it's going back to the desktop. Why? Well, if you go over here and you see this option here, it says shows Windows Store apps on taskbar. That's the reason why. This option should really say show running Windows applications on taskbar, and plus it should say override the minimize function and go back to the desktop, because they assume if you minimize, you want to go back to the desktop, which I don't. I want to be able to minimize and still go back to the start screen. Now, if I unclick that and watch at the bottom with Flickster at the bottom, I say apply, it goes away. So it's no longer showing up there. So if I run it again, now my options to minimize are gone. Okay, I can close it. I can close it using the red X and all that. But when I do close it, with that option now turned off, everything should work the way I want it to. So it doesn't show up over here. Okay, if I come over here and I say close, like that, I can drag it over there to minimize instead. But if I come over here and I close it, I click on it, I stay on the start screen, which is what I want. So if I click on this here because I want to show the running Windows apps on the taskbar, it overrides the other setting, which is not what I want. So I can't have this without having this. So let's say if I click on that just to demonstrate again, I say OK, and I come over here and I launch an application. There's the minimize button is back. If I minimize, I don't go back to the start screen, I go back to the desktop. Really, I think it's a bad decision on their part to do it that way, because I might be on a laptop or a touchscreen desktop that I want to alternate between my screen and my mouse, but I want consistent behavior. I want to be able to minimize to my start screen or my desktop, not be forced to do one or the other, and still have them show up in the taskbar. So just to clarify here, if I'm running a Windows app, old style Windows application here, not a Windows 8 app, I can't see what's running over there without going up to the top corner and taking a peek at it that way. So it's like the Windows 7 guys have been segregated even more, that they get the benefit of the taskbar at the bottom, but we have to go up here to the top and take a look at the Windows 8 applications. It's a little ridiculous. So maybe they'll change it in the future, but maybe not. So for right now, I'm going to take it off to where I boot, take both options off, and so I don't get in the taskbar. That's fine. So if I set all these up, uncheck both those, and I hit apply, it goes back to the desktop, excuse me, to the start screen, and minimizes as well. So that's it in a nutshell. Hope you can use these settings here. Remember, that setting and this setting need to be turned off if you want to boot to the desktop and you want, or excuse me, to the start screen, and you want to also when you close a program, it goes there, and you close that down, and you're back in business, going back to your start screen. So enjoy your Windows 8, whether you use the start screen or the desktop. And don't forget to subscribe to Old Guy Geek, where you have hundreds of Windows 8 and Windows Phone 8 videos, and we're adding more all the time.